What's up, Internet? Welcome back to Strange Antiquities. We are on the precipice of an ending. We are at day 18 now, and we can now read our whole story. I'm gonna save myself on that one. The black mare thundered through the icy rain, shining wet in the silver moonlight. Her cloaked rider was exhausted, cold, and soaked to the bone. He did not know how he knew he would not survive the night if he did not reach Backbarrow. A deep pain radiated down the side of the rider's head, where he had sliced himself with the diverging hook, and his thoughts were scattered and torn. He could not see out of his left eye. 2 days earlier, the rider and his fellow adventurer were deep underground, exploring the tunnels below the Kirkhead Tower, when they made a discovery. Their elation at their find would soon turn to horror. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. Inside was the reason they had toiled so hard, a small black casket. A very valuable small black casket. They knew enough not to open it, but perhaps too little to fully understand the danger it posed. At camp that night, one of the pair had awoken with pain in his left eye. He was alert to the threat at once, recognizing two things at the same time. One, a part of his mind was not his own, and two, the casket wanted to be opened. He knew what he had to do. Without hesitating, he took hold of his diverging hook and used it to cut away the infected part of his mind before it could spread and consume himself entirely. As his mind roiled in confusion, he watched through his remaining good eye as his partner lunged towards the satchel that contained the casket. To his horror, he saw that his partner's eyes were black. He tried to use the diverging hook on his partner as he had done on himself, but he could find no part of him that had not been taken over by the infection. His partner's hands ripped at the satchel, tearing it open and sending the black casket tumbling out. The two men fought as the heavens opened and lightning flashed across the night. One man wrested the casket from the other's grasp and leaped astride his horse, galloping off into the cold, wet darkness. The rider was lucky. He made it to Backbarrow and found refuge there and was nursed back to health. He would later discover his left eye was permanently blackened, like his partner's had been. The rider's partner was less fortunate. They found his frozen body a week later. With dreams of earning his fortune long banished from his mind, the man brought the casket to a trusted friend, the curator of a museum in Undermere. Together they looked for answers. The curator learned that the Nalian casket is a dark article, a class reserved for the most cursed and most dangerous of objects. He locked it away deep within the museum's archives, along with the other such artifacts that are best kept from public eyes. But the problem with storing dark, powerful artifacts is that slowly, inevitably, the darkness seeps out. Almost imperceptibly, the casket began to absorb the here's that word again, crepuscular power that had leached into the stone and the earth of its lightless tomb. It festered and pulsated until it could no longer be contained. Some part of it reached out from the darkness, creating eyes so that it might find itself, and hands so that it might open itself. The casket wanted to be opened. It's good context. All right, last one of these. What is this? It's books. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. I lie below books and scrolls. Okay, that is a book, but I don't think that's what it's trying to say. To the vaults. Hardwick Tower. Greywick Farm. The spoken word. Undermere Church. Let's try the library again. No. I lie below books and scrolls on the esoteric and the arcane. Aha! Entering the library, I'm drawn to a dark alcove round to the right, bearing the title Esoterica and Arcana. I'm sure there is much to learn here, but sadly a cursory glance is all I have time for today. Piled up on a reading desk, I find books on ornithology alongside bestiaries of the old world. You can learn a lot about a person from the books that they read. Okay, so if that's the case... Wait, hold on. Let's do that one more time. Oh, so... Okay, so... It's saying it's here in the room. Which means it's here. And if it lies below this... Oh shit, I'm bad with this kind of stuff. It's probably like here. Right, it's got to be in line with where the staircase is. It's probably this one. Yes! Solve all the clue cards. As I open the door, I'm hit with the musty smell of damp. This room hasn't been entered for some time. The corner of the room is piled high with scrolls of parchment and old books, but underneath the debris, I find something of interest. All right. I gotta say, though, if you have a whole castle, and you know that there's stuff to find there, why wouldn't you just, like, look at the whole castle? Just go in every room. Who cares? Eli is back. The museum was ransacked last night. I went looking for my brother, but he's nowhere to be found. You guys just gotta stay in one place. The good news is that they didn't find what they were looking for. I moved the casket myself and hid it here in one of Strange Antiquities' vaults. It's safe for now, but we can't leave it there for long. I have more to prepare, but I've left instructions on how to access the vault in the desk drawer. Aha. A candle that gives off no light. An anchor that has never touched the ocean. A finger, but not a flesh. Okay. Well, we should probably... I wonder if we shouldn't open it. Donate to the library across the street. Is that how we got the Bloodbeck entry, maybe? Hold on. This is bad, but I don't want to... No, how do I get this? Weird. Okay. A candle that gives off no light, an anchor that has never been touched, an anchor that has never touched the ocean. A candle that gives off no light. That's funny. They were sitting right next to each other on the thing. A finger, but not a flesh. Yeah. Ah, I missed it again. Hold on. One more. Okay, so it's this one, and this one. I like the fact that it's in there. We're gonna leave. I know how to get it now. That's all that matters. We're gonna keep that out. David Schaefer. The lake has turned black. As omens go, I'd say that's probably a quite bad one, but the mail won't deliver itself. The MVP, David Schaefer. I found this note in an old writing desk up at Gleeston Castle. I expect it will mean more to you. Fear in autumn, rising in winter. It feels all too prescient as we hurtle towards winter and a terrible, unknowable fate. Okay, well, we know how that one goes. So, let's take a look at this. Fear is the triangle thing. Okay, so fear in autumn. Rising in winter. I searched the room at the foot of the western tower quite thoroughly before finding a stash of papers. To my dismay, there are largely the scrawlings of a madman, but in amongst the nonsense, there's some valuable information. Aha! We got 2 more. Okay. So that's dead. Don't know how to use that justifiably. Okay, let's get our next customer. Barton Potter. Are you the person with the eye? I think you might be. I've discovered the missing piece of the puzzle. Oop. There's an ancient shrine to the nameless gods at the skull of Blencathra. It seems humanity tried worshipping them once, long ago, before we learned how little they care for us. We must take the casket there. Whatever happens, we must not allow it to be opened. Yeah, you are definitely the person who got the casket. Okay, so let's travel there. I meet with Barton Potter at the entrance to the catacombs. Ready? You have the casket? The Nalian casket. Back to text. I need to see this through to the end. Okay. Maybe I should not have done this. Okay, so in order to do that, I have to do 1, 2, and 3. And that all but proves this is the witch's finger, by the way. Oh, shit, I did it again. I gotta keep him on there. And let's grab it. Okay, so we've obviously found that this is the Nalian casket. And what is... Can we identify it? What do we see? A complex feeling comes over me. It's both horrifying and yet compelling. I have nothing to remark. Smooth. Rough. Black and wood, black and wood, black and wood, gold. Alright, well, this is our casket. I show him the small black chest and his hand moves up to rub the side of his eye absentmindedly. Smaller than I remember. We begin our descent into the depths, down twisting tunnels and past silent tombs. It's hard going, and we pass the time deep in thought, only speaking when we need to consult the map. Finally, we come to a large cavern. Illuminated by our flickering torches is the giant skull of some long-dead beast, huge and terrifying and ominous, the skull of Blencathra. It is too big to have found its way through the night tunnels, so it is not clear how it got here, but we don't have time to ponder that now. It soon becomes apparent that our journey has only just begun. The skull marks the entrance to a new system of tunnels, ones that are not marked on our map. We trudge onwards, deeper into the earth, trying not to think about the pressing weight of rock above our heads. Stop! He says it so abruptly that I nearly drop the torch in panic. Then I see it, a terrifying chasm in the path ahead. By some trick of the shadows and with my mind elsewhere, I'd come close to stepping out into nothing. This is gonna be tricky. At first, I don't see how we could get past this obstacle. The gap is too big to jump, and attempting to traverse it would be too dangerous. But then I remember the items I have with me. Surely there is something I can make use of. Ooh, okay, so I have to traverse a gap. Let's see. What do I got? Death. Flight, maybe? Oh, wait, where's the flight one? What's the levitation? Oh, shit. Isn't the levitation one Avalent? Is that it? No. Dataless link. Okay, dataless link is what I'm looking for. Let's see. Right. Nice. I activate the levitation field around us and feel an unsettling sensation as my feet leave the ground. We float slowly across the chasm, and my heart beats faster in my chest. It's tempting to race to the other side and feel a solid rock beneath our feet again, but a dataless link requires a delicate balancing act and must be used slowly and carefully. We reach the other side with great relief and continue on our way down the narrow corridor. I'm the first one to spot the next obstacle. As we approach a bend in the tunnel, I see a flickering orange light sending shadows dancing across the wall. Peering around the corner, I'm confronted by a bright light that my eyes struggle to adjust to. A wall of intense flame fills the passage from floor to ceiling, an impossible bright yellow-orange fire swirling and billowing and roaring in a place where it should not be. I watch mesmerized for a moment, trying to work out where the fire is coming from, before being forced to retreat from the heat. What is it? I explain our hopeless predicament, and as I do I realize it's probably not so hopeless after all. Perhaps there is a way through. Of course there's a way through. We have the items. Okay. So yeah, there was definitely something that could protect us from extreme heat. Yep. The Serene Ward. All of them are wearables, right? Where are you? There it is. Okay. Oh, right. It had the scale in it. Safely on the other side of the fire-filled tunnel, the passageway begins to widen, and soon it opens out into a vast cavern. Strange, ancient stalagmites reach up towards delicate stalactites that spear down from the ceiling far above. It's strangely warm, perhaps heated by the same unnatural fire that we have just come through. In its center sits a dark pool. Its black depths are featureless, the flickering torchlight offering no reflection upon its surface. Blencathra's Basin. What do we do now? I'm stunned. I thought he knew what he was doing. We began to explore our surroundings, both of us instinctively staying away from the edge of the imposing dark pool. We scour every corner of the cavern, looking for some clue as to how to proceed, but after a lengthy search, we find nothing. My companion is growing impatient. I guess we just throw it in? I'm not so sure about this plan, but before I can react, Barton has grabbed the casket and taken it up to the edge of the water. He pauses, contemplating, when suddenly a shuddering vibration rocks the cavern and knocks us both off our feet. The surface of the pool swirls and churns as three terrifying appendages burst out from its depths. They are long and black and spiny, and they stab and scrabble at the rock floor around the relic hunter. Arg! Barton is stabbed through the abdomen, and second appendage pierces his chest, killing him instantly. It all happens so quickly. Before I know it, the spiny appendages have retreated below the surface of the pool once more, carrying Barton's body and the Nalian casket with them, and the black waters return to stillness. I shiver, despite the warmth of the cavern, and turn and run without looking back. Uh-oh. Oh, no! I got a lot of achievements just there. I got complete the game without using hints. That's good. Follow the relic hunter's path and reach an ending. Okay. It's been several weeks now, and I still wake sweating and screaming in the night. I cannot sleep without a Moonstone Guardian at my bedside, and even then, it is a turbulent, disturbed sleep. Every night, I relive the terror of those moments in the catacombs. Every night, I try to rewrite what happened and save Barton. Every night, I fail and watch him die again. I'm not getting choked up. I'm just dying inside. Oh, I'm grateful that at least his sacrifice was not in vain. Those who are under the casket's spell, including my friend Verona, have been released. They remember nothing from their ordeal, but there seems to be no lingering ill effects, and Dr. Robertson says they have all made a full recovery. And yet, still something feels unresolved. I cannot shake the feeling that whatever took the casket was not the recipient we intended. I push these thoughts from my mind, but at night my resolve is weaker and the fear take hold. I can only hope that time will help, but something tells me that these wounds will never fully heal. Ending 2, disturbed sleep. Alive, 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 deceased. Alive, 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 insane. Deceased. Murdered by her own bloodthirsty followers when they saw her weakness. Ooh. Rescued. Alive. Alive, alive. Oh, alive, insane. Jack Hungerford. Oh, that was the guy. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's at least 2 endings, and clearly there's a lot more if all of these people can be counted alive or dead. So this was like a neutral ending. Angry you didn't do as he asked, given how events turned out. So interesting. Okay, I'm not counting that as the end of even this episode. We're gonna continue. Epilogue, day 19. Tess Sherwood. My father is suffering from Morgan's insanity. His doctors have given up on him, but Dr. Robertson told me there might be a way to save him. She said it might be possible to stop the infection spreading by cutting the poisonous thoughts from his mind, but she said it was beyond her skill. Poison of the mind. So I think now the game is now going to give us the option to identify everything else. So let's do that really quick. And let me just make sure that this episode isn't crazy long. No, we're good. Okay. So, Morgan's insanity. Let's start there. I think we'll probably be able to run through these. Uh-oh. Sextrum? Protects against insanity in all forms. She said it might be possible to stop the infection spreading by cutting the poisonous thoughts from his mind. What else did we get? Used to call on the guile and wisdom of the goddess Korchin. She's a goddess of the earth, creation, and rebirth. They exude an imposing aura. It's probably something with a green gem, right? Because that's an earth thing. Maybe, possibly. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure that if this is what I think it is... Vessel of the Earth, used in Dradic rituals. Manus. According to Whitlock, these are lighter than an evocant by half, not exactly the most useful insight. Those who are carried by desert nomads who use them to conjure precious water from the cool night air. So that's probably this one. Just because it's the water thing as well. Wouldn't this be the diverging hook? Though? Like, actually? Oh, God. Okay. There's not only so much I could actually do with this. Especially if Morgan's insanity is not a thing that I can directly identify. Let's try insanity. Oh, wait, but that protects against insanity. Said it was beyond her skill. Let's try the diverging hook. Oh, that is what it is. Okay, great. All right. Peggy Grafton. There's an old hermit living out past Wastwater who barely comes into town. He brings me lists now and then for odd things. This time, he wants something that will pull water from thin air. No idea if he's mad or onto something, but I said I'd ask around. Oh, I keep doing that. Wrong book. Ah! Alright, well, we're gonna have to go all the way down. This is probably that one we just looked at, but I'm just gonna... Yeah, it's... I have to guess it's this one. No, it's not? Okay. Oh, maybe it's the reverse. Maybe this one is the Manus, this one's the Shin. So hold on. Because the Shin... made with materials with connection to the ocean. It's driftwood. Yeah, okay, so they just flip. I just didn't have this early enough to know whether this was going to be the Shin or the Manus. Okay, so this is the Manus. And can I see now Let's go back to... These are lighter than an evokant by half. So if that's 1, we need this to be... Yep. Manus! Got it. I like that. I like, even at the last minute, kind of changing up what each of these is going to be. Let's try to identify. This is what this is. We're identifying. Speed round. My lungs are shot. My doctors have told me to settle my affairs, but I'm not ready to give up. Not yet. I've heard a local story about the Witch of Undermere and her healing abilities. They say it's dangerous and painful, but sometimes it works. Are you talking about the Witch's Finger? Because I'm happy to give that one to you. Let's see. Witch's Finger. Severed digits of Undermere. Yep. Where's the tree? Did you put him down here? Yep. Nice. Identified. Finally, too. Took long enough. All right. Put that one there. Next. Owen Fox. There have been so many new characters for just this part. My farm is diseased. My crops won't hold, and the animals are uneasy. My old man says the earth's angry. He says I should call upon Corchin for wisdom and blessings. Can you help? Well, this land's all I got. Okay, so Corchin. Used to call on the guile and wisdom. They are maintained by some that these are not objects of power, but they exude an imposing aura that's hard to explain. She's a goddess of the earth. Okay, again, everything here is identified, correct? Yes. Everything here is identified, yes? So the last few... gives me goosebumps. Gives you, it's an imposing aura that's hard to explain. Isn't Corchin the snake goddess, though? So it's probably this one. Yep. Alright, so that's Corchenna. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay, that's that one. Basically, I'm going for my 100% identification achievement right now. Martha Chapman. I collect rare artifacts, especially with those with, we'll say, questionable uses. A weaving edge has always fascinated me. I don't plan on using it, heavens no. Blood magic, old traditions, I simply must have it. Well, here you go. We've done the work. The handle's made of oak. That's all you need. Weaving edge. Francis Mason. I've read the tales of Calaris from cover to cover. I was surprised to learn of some of the powers he could wield. Did you know that he could walk through walls? I've read that he's a water shadow, but that we have lost the knowledge of how they work over the years. I don't expect I'll get very far with it, but I'd like to study one all the same. Who knows? Perhaps I'll succeed where others have failed. Water shadow? Is that in my thing? No. Oh, shit. Okay, wait. Hold on. Is it this? I gotta try this again. Is there something about, like, invisible ink? Like hidden writing or something? There was, wasn't there? Wasn't there something about... No, and that's not it. It's gonna be something like... Is this something that's having to do with light? Light can be felt through touch. No. Carrick's candle. Maybe. Let's just see that for a second. No. I don't think the ethereal key will help me again, but let's try. No. Alright, we're gonna try just the rest of these and then keep going. Sunbound. That doesn't seem like that will help. And then Veiled Fen. No. Okay. Can I... Library across the street. I don't know what it wants. Donate them to the library across the street? Wordsworth Library, 26. It's the only library in the city. And it is technically across the street from me. Try this, just in case. Nope. Okay. I don't know what a water shadow is. I have no idea of how to identify that even. So, I guess I'm stuck in a weird way? I don't have any other... Unless I can identify more stuff. So... You could walk through walls. Something to walk through walls? Oh god. Do I even... I don't have enough things. I think I'm capped out, aren't I? Shit. It just feels like this is like an incomplete letter. Can I go to the mail? Hold on. Is there a post office? Farm, Barrows, Church, Hospital, Heathwood. Donate them to the library across the street. What else could that possibly mean? Unless it's donated to this library, which doesn't make any sense. Water's shadow. Water's shadow. There's only so many it could be. And I think I've identified most of everything else. It's either going to be this one or it's going to be this one, but I think I've identified that. Let's just try. All right, yeah, I guess it's that one. There's no way for me to know. Water's shadow. I hate guessing, but like the game isn't giving me an option. Rufus Shelley. He's probably going to get one of these other ones. My boy is sick. His dreams are heavy and he's preoccupied with death. A darkness is growing in him. I need to see the light. Light of Korchan. It's probably this one. Yep. Cool. At least this is like helping. This will help with the final pass through this. I've been studying old text references to things hidden beneath the surface of our world. They mention the use of a spirit eye to see beyond the black veils. It's something I'd like to experience for myself. Well, you've got that. Yeah, we know. And 3 or 4 more? Alice Holtby. My grandmother followed the old ways. She kept a Dradic altar in the cellar. She believed in asking for nature's blessing before a harvest. I found a note about a ritual. I meant to bring abundance, but it needs an Argil. It seems like the place to find one. A vessel of the earth. It's this one. Yeah, I love that the game doesn't, like, the ending, quote-unquote, of the game is not when you've identified every single one of these, because then it would be boring. If you waited until you had, like, 3 left, it'd be annoying. The fact that it still keeps, like, 6 or 7 on the table is great. I work for the riverbed, searching for stones, amethyst, jade, maybe vivianite if I'm lucky. It's hard to spot them in the muck, but I heard about these remnants that will let you feel the glimmer through the dirt. Worth a shot. Remnants. Ares remnant? Nice. I think that might have been one of the options, so it's still helping us go through some of the ones that are still choices. We've had a bit of a snag and I've had to shut down the quarry. Our dynamite supplier has had a little accident. I'll spare you the details. I wonder, is there anything among your fine collection that could get us up and running again in the short term? I'm losing money by the minute. Our dynamite? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Explosives? Jesus. Okay. That's not gonna be it. Is it gonna be one of the ones that we've already... Oh, okay. Yeah, the pit. It's capable of solid rock. Yep. Very nice. Yeah, and it's listing every reason that we noted about how to identify these. William Wheatley. My thesis on the psychology of fear, but books can only take me so far. I need to feel it properly. I'm sure you have something. My thesis on the psychology of fear, but books can only take me so far. I need to feel it. You need to feel fear? Walk outside as of yesterday. It's probably this one. Yeah, and it's going to be this guy. Very nice. Almost there. Althea O'Shea. Yeah, some of these people are repeats, I think. I've been looking into Corvin, the Bloody Queen, for a book on historical figures that I'm writing. I'm finding it surprisingly difficult to verify much of her story. I was hoping to take a look at one of the Bloodstone artifacts that were created in her name, if you have one, of course. I do. This one has eluded me for so long, but it is now complete. Okay, and 3 more? Constance Bader? More than I thought. I'm not trying to hurt anyone, just shift their thinking a little. Sometimes all it takes is a suggestion in the right state of mind. Do you have anything suitable? It's probably the abrasive mether, but let's see. Shift their thinking, huh? Okay. It's probably there's a whole page of mined ones, so let's do there. No. No. Binding seed? No. Cassandra? No. I have Cernunos. Lesser creatures, no. Mistral Nether. Clarity of Thought, no. Sextrum, no. Shadow Anchor. Thaumaturge Needle. No, definitely not. Distort. Maybe Truth Conduit. Where is it? Where is it? No. Okay. Suggestion. Maybe we... Suggestibility, Morgan's Folly. I forget what they all look like. Where the hell is it? There it is. Okay. Yeah, that was another one. That was one of the ones that we used on the girl who we hypnotized, basically, right? Jane Fairburn. This today is going crazy. My sons are out of control. Jail doesn't teach them anything. A year behind bars and they come back worse. I want to feel like the wrong that they've done. Real penance so that they might change their ways. Ooh. Probably guilt. Right? Binding seed. That's this one. Or here it is. Hey, at least I'm getting it. This could have been way worse. I just need 3 or 4 to be identified. Come on, guys. There's a lawman snooping around the blacksmith's guild. Can't have him poking into parts of the business they're not supposed to if you catch my drift. I need a way to keep him out. Alunima. Yep. This item bears the symbol of the elements. Closer inspection reveals a feeling of disquiet. Okay, that's done. Freddie Lamb. I can't bear the pain any longer. I would rather have no memory of her at all than suffer like this. Don't try to talk me out of it. I've already made up my mind. Abrasive Nether. Well, here you go. I have no other option. Okay. 2 more. What's going to be the last one? It's probably going to be this one. This Shin. My brother captains a small fishing vessel in Haverig. There's a big storm last month and 2 boats never came home. I remember what the old sailors used to carry. Charms, tokens, things to keep the sea calm, or at least to keep you afloat. I want to give him something like that, just in case. Here's your Shin. Very nice. This item is made from driftwood. It features an aquamarine gemstone. It did evade us. And the last one is this weather one. David Schaefer. Rain again? Soaked to the bone before I'm halfway through my rounds. I'm fed up with it. I got a few bob to spare if you know a way to keep me dry. That's it. We identified them all. This is a storm ward. Storm Ward. And with that, I'm done. Time for a well-earned rest, right after I give Jupiter one last scratch behind the ears. So did I have Storm Ward? No. Okay, oh no, I did. Interesting. So everything is crossed off, but there were still some that I didn't have an entry for. I didn't have an entry for this one, and I didn't have an entry for the Bloodbeck. So these two, I didn't have an entry for, which makes me wonder, where do I find it? And it's got to be with this thing. How do I work off of this? Whose handwriting even is this? It's not the library. Whose handwriting is this? Is it the museum? It's not the museum. It can't be. Nope. I would love to be able to get this. Where's 13? Wow, this is crazy. I wouldn't think that this is the puzzle that screws me up. It's not even a puzzle. There's no puzzle here. Oh, fuck. Okay. That's really confusing. It's saying that this guy lives across the street from the library. Several of the scrolls look promising, but they're written in Dradic script, and my understanding is too rudimentary to make use of them. If Verona was around, I'm sure she could translate them, but she isn't, and I can't. So this is the whatever. Babelia? Yeah. The effect of the Babelia makes my head spin, and I close my eyes tight for a moment as my mind catches up. The pages swirl and blur in front of me, letters and words floating in and out of focus. After a time, I find that I can read them, though it takes some effort, and I feel drained as I reach the end. There they are. I'm surprised there's no, I guess if we have the entry, we have the item, too. So Bloodbeck. It was once thought that these objects could be used to commune with the dead, but is now widely believed that such a thing is not possible. It's not known where the strange voices that began to emanate from a Bloodbeck originate, but there are some who believe they are voices of nameless gods. So that we just needed to hear the thing. So actually, we didn't even need that. And then what was the other one? The water shadow? This was the biggest guess I had in the whole thing. It's alleged that a water shadow could be used to pass through solid matter, but from the art has faded from memory. The items themselves are from producing a faint thaumic field. So we would have just had to know that it produces a super faint field. You know what? Honestly, I feel good about that. We did really, really well there. I'm going to end the day and see what happens. All right, that's it. Okay, so there's still more to do, though. In the next episode, I think this episode has gone on crazy long, but I think that's fitting for... Oh, no, actually not too bad. It's fitting for the last episode, though. It's fine. This episode could be an hour and a half, and I'd be fine. And if you're watching my Blueprints playthrough, too, probably the same thing. You're used to the hour-long episodes by now. So, next episode, Sods, we're gonna try to get the other endings. I might do a little bit of looking up, because now at this point, it's not puzzles. Like, it's not figuring out what things are. It's just about finding out endings. I'd love to at least get the true ending, quote-unquote, for you guys, and then every other ending I might just do on my own time, because it's going to be kind of annoying to go through the game, like, 6 times, because I remember having to do that with Horticulture, and it was a little bit grating. But I'm going to call it here. In the meantime, though, this series was great. I had so much fun playing this, so thank you for watching all the way to the end. If this is where you bow out, totally understandable. Thank you for coming this far. But if you choose to watch the actual epilogue of this playthrough, then stick around. There'll be another episode or two coming your way in just a little bit. And if not, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.